Welcome to History Uncovered, where we delve into the stories and events that have shaped our world. In this episode, we unravel the threads of time to bring you the captivating tale of a woman who left an indelible imprint on ancient Egypt, a figure shrouded in both splendor and mystery, Queen Nefertiti. Hailed as one of the most influential and powerful women of ancient times, Nefertiti has become a symbol of feminine beauty and royal power. But her story goes far beyond the iconic bust that has made her a familiar face around the globe. Her reign, alongside Pharaoh Akhenaten, was a period of unprecedented change and upheaval in Egypt, marked by religious revolution, artistic renaissance, and diplomatic challenges. So, prepare yourself as we embark on a journey down the corridors of history, back to the sandy dunes of ancient Egypt, where the Nile River meanders under the gaze of pyramids. There, amidst golden sands and monumental architectures, emerges a figure of timeless allure and intriguing power, Queen Nefertiti. Stay with us as we unearth her story, piece by piece, revealing the woman behind the icon, the queen beyond the bust, and all her captivating complexity and fascinating paradox. Queen Nefertiti, whose name literally translates to a beautiful woman has come, reigned during the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt, around 1370 to 1330 BC. She was not just a queen, but the great royal wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten, making her a crucial part of the royal court. However, what truly distinguished this royal couple was not their titles, but their bold and radical vision for their kingdom. Together, they ushered in a period of sweeping religious reform. They championed Atenism, one of the earliest known forms of monotheism, centered on the worship of the sun disk, Aten, signifying its direct connection to the royal household. This was a revolutionary shift away from the traditional pantheon of gods worshipped in Egypt. The reign of Nefertiti and Akhenaten was not just marked by religious overhaul, but also immense wealth. This era is considered one of the most affluent periods in ancient Egyptian history, making their influence even more profound. Interestingly, following the death of Akhenaten, some scholars believe that Nefertiti may have briefly assumed the throne under the name Neferneferuaten. However, this theory remains the subject of much academic debate. If she did indeed rule as pharaoh, her reign coincided with the fall of the city of Amarna and the relocation of the capital back to the traditional city of Thebes. Beyond the historical records and the fascinating speculation about her life and rule, what brought Nefertiti global recognition was her bust, now housed in Berlin's Neues Museum. This breathtakingly detailed sculpture has become one of the most replicated works of ancient Egyptian art. It is attributed to the skilled hand of the sculptor Thutmose, and was discovered within his workshop, leaving us an enduring testament to Nefertiti's remarkable beauty and her everlasting impact on the world. Much of Nefertiti's early life, before her marriage to Pharaoh Akhenaten, remains shrouded in mystery. There are some references in the scenes from the tombs of the nobles in Amarna, suggesting she had a sister named Mutbenret. Another character of note in Nefertiti's life was a woman named Te, who bore the title nurse of the great royal wife. Her husband, I, was known as God's father, a title that has led some Egyptologists to speculate that I might have been Nefertiti's father. However, no explicit evidence exists to confirm or deny this theory. Interestingly, I was a figure of considerable influence during Nefertiti's life and even after her death, which lends some credence to the possibility of his being her father. There's another conjecture that Nefertiti was the daughter of I by a different wife, with Te being her stepmother, but this theory, like many others, is based on speculation and circumstantial evidence. It has also been suggested that Nefertiti could have been Akhenaten's full sister, although her titles don't support this theory, as they lack the usual designations of king's daughter or king's sister. Some proponents of this theory believe Nefertiti could be the Mitanni princess Tadukapa, partially based on the interpretation of her name, the beautiful woman has come, as signifying foreign origin. Yet, there is no compelling evidence to support this hypothesis. The timing of Nefertiti's marriage to Akhenaten and her ascension to the position of the great royal wife is another area of uncertainty. What is known, however, is that the royal couple had at least 6 daughters: Meritaten, Meketaten, Ankhesenpaten, Neferneferuaten Tasheret, Neferneferuaten, and Setapenra. At one point, Nefertiti was even considered a possible mother of Tutankhamun, but genetic studies of discovered mummies have largely dismissed this theory. Nefertiti first emerges in historical accounts through scenes in Thebes. In the tomb of royal butler Parennefer, she is depicted alongside the new king Amenhotep IV, the man who would later become known as Akhenaten. Both king and queen are shown worshipping the Aten, a deity represented as a sun disk, hinting at their early adoption of what is known as Atenism. In the early years in Thebes, several temples were constructed at Karnak, one of which, the mansion of the Benben, was dedicated to Nefertiti. She is shown with her daughter Meritaten and sometimes with the princess Akhetaten. Interestingly, Nefertiti appears almost twice as often as her husband in these scenes. Her portrayal isn't limited to that of a supporting queen. She is also shown smiting the enemy and presiding over captives, roles typically reserved for the king. For years into his reign, Amenhotep IV took a revolutionary step. He decided to move the capital to Akhetaten, now known as Amarna. In the following year, both he and Nefertiti changed their names to Akhenaten and Neferneferuaten Nefertiti respectively, signifying the rise and importance of the Aten cult and their transition from polytheistic religion to what could be described as monolatry or henotheism. Life in the new capital revolved around the Aten, with numerous open-air temples dedicated to this deity. Nefertiti and her family resided in the Great Royal Palace, and possibly at the Northern Palace. Their lives are prominently featured in the scenes at the palaces and in the tombs of the nobles. Nefertiti's steward during this time was an official named Moriah II, who would have been responsible for running her household. Scenes in the tombs of Huya and Moriah II depict the royal couple receiving tributes from the north and south. These depictions offer some of the last glimpses of the Princess Akhetaten alive. Tragically, Akhetaten might have passed away around the 13th or 14th year of Akhenaten's reign, a loss that deeply affected the royal family. As we delve deeper into the later years of Nefertiti's life, the picture becomes murkier. After the 16th year of Akhenaten's reign, Nefertiti's name vanishes from the historical records, replaced by a co-regent named Neferneferuaten, who is believed to have become a female pharaoh. It is widely speculated that Nefertiti, much like Hatshepsut, another female pharaoh, might have assumed kingship under this new name. She might even have disguised herself as a male, taking on the alter ego of Smenkhare, elevating her daughter Meritaten to the role of great royal wife. If Nefertiti indeed assumed the mantle of pharaoh, she likely attempted to restore the traditional Egyptian religion and the power of the Amun priests. Tutankhamun, the boy king, might have been brought up in the traditional faith under her influence. Some evidence supporting the theory of Nefertiti's kingship comes from the renowned Egyptologist Dr. Zahi Hawass, who points to feminine depictions of a female pharaoh and the portrayal of Nefertiti in roles typically reserved for kings. Before 2012, there was a prevailing theory among Egyptologists that Nefertiti mysteriously disappeared from historical records around year 12 of Akhenaten's reign. Various conjectures were made about her disappearance, such as being inflicted with an injury, succumbing to a plague that was sweeping the city, or simply dying of natural causes. This theory was in part based on the discovery of several fragments of funerary figurines, or ushabti, inscribed with Nefertiti's name and found in the Louvre and the Brooklyn Museum. Another theory, which suggested that Nefertiti had fallen out of favor and hence disappeared, was later discredited. The erasures and changes made to certain monuments were discovered to refer not to Nefertiti but to another of Akhenaten's queens, Kia. The period of Akhenaten's reign saw Nefertiti wielding significant power. By the 12th year of his rule, there is evidence to suggest she might have been promoted to the status of co-regent, thus making her equal in status to the pharaoh. This could potentially be represented in an artifact known as the co-regency stela. There's a possibility that Nefertiti was the ruler named Neferneferuaten. Some theorists proposed that Nefertiti might have survived Akhenaten, exerting influence over the younger royals. If this was the case, her influence and possibly her life would have come to an end by year 3 of Tutankhaten's reign. It was during this year that Tutankhaten changed his name to Tutankhamun, symbolizing a return to the official worship of the god Amun, and shifted the capital back to Thebes from Amarna, marking the end of the Amarna period. In 2012, a significant discovery was made, an inscription dated to year 16, month 3 of Ak, day 15 of Akhenaten's reign. This inscription was found within Quarry 320 in the largest wadi of the limestone quarry at Dayr Abū Ḥinnis. The 5-line inscription was written in red ochre and mentions great royal wife, his beloved, mistress of the two lands, Neferneferuaten Nefertiti. The final line of the inscription pertains to ongoing building work on the small Aten temple in Amarna, conducted under the supervision of the king's scribe, Pentu. This discovery provides irrefutable evidence that both Akhenaten and Nefertiti were alive and maintained their respective positions in the 16th year of Akhenaten's reign. It implies the necessity of re-evaluating the final years of the Amarna period. It also conclusively indicates that Nefertiti was alive in the penultimate year of Akhenaten's reign, implying that Akhenaten was still the sole ruler, with his wife by his side. Consequently, the reign of the female Amarna pharaoh known as Neferneferuaten must be placed between the death of Akhenaten and the accession of Tutankhamun. This female pharaoh, Neferneferuaten, specifically used the epithet effective for her husband in one of her cartouches, which implies she was either Nefertiti or her daughter Akhetaten, who was married to King Smenkhare. Nefertiti's burial was initially planned to take place within the royal tomb, as outlined in the Boundary Stelae. The unfinished annex of the royal tomb might have been intended for her. However, as it appears that Akhenaten predeceased her, it's highly unlikely she was ever interred there. Only one shabti was known to have been made for her. Tomb 29, unfinished and lacking a burial chamber, is thought to have been started for Nefertiti's exclusive use, but she was not interred there either. In 2015, English archaeologist Nicholas Reeves announced that high-resolution scans had revealed voids behind the walls of Tutankhamun's tomb, which he suggested could be Nefertiti's burial chamber. However, subsequent radar scans revealed that there were no hidden chambers. 2 female mummies found within the tomb of Amenhotep II in the Valley of the Kings by French archaeologist Victor Loret in 1898 were considered as possible remains of Nefertiti. These mummies, known as the Elder Lady and the Younger Lady, sparked significant debate. A 2001 article in KMT magazine proposed that the Elder Lady might be Nefertiti. But it was later proven that the Elder Lady was, in fact, Tai, mother of Akhenaten. A lock of hair found in a coffinet with an inscription naming Queen Tai was almost a perfect match to the hair of the Elder Lady, with DNA analysis confirming that she was the daughter of Tai's parents, Yuya and Thuya. In 2003, archaeologist Joanne Fletcher, a specialist in ancient hair from the University of York in England, proposed that Nefertiti's mummy might be the Younger Lady. This theory, however, was criticized by many Egyptologists, including Zahi Hawass. In a subsequent research project led by Hawass, which included CT scan analysis and DNA testing, researchers concluded that the Younger Lady was Tutankhamun's biological mother, an unnamed daughter of Amenhotep III and Tai, not Nefertiti. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient Egypt, exploring the life, reign, and mysteries surrounding the fascinating Queen Nefertiti. Despite the passage of millennia, her story continues to captivate us, reminding us of the richness and depth of human history. Thank you for watching this episode of History Uncovered. If you found this video informative and engaging, please like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from the past. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so that you never miss a new video. Your support and interest help us bring history to life and uncover the stories that have shaped our world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember history is a tapestry woven from countless individual threads. The more we can learn about each thread, the richer and more colorful the overall picture becomes.